160 systems compromised in just 48 hours, a single flaw letting hackers take over your network with zero credentials, and a silent backdoor hiding in your firewall right now. These aren't hypothetical threats, they're happening today. I'm Brian Longworth, host of A Faster PC Live Technical Support, and coming up next, I'll go over the 6 most critical cybersecurity threats happening right now so that you can be aware of these and take proactive measures to protect your computers and your network. Let's dive in. Fortinet's firewall web application is being actively exploited by attackers. This flaw affects multiple FortiWeb versions and allows unauthenticated remote attackers to execute arbitrary code via a SQL injection in the HTTP authorization header. Security researchers observed at least 160 compromised FortiWeb instances with malicious web shells deployed recently, suggesting widespread exploitation. Fortinet released security patches and urges all users to upgrade immediately or at a minimum disable HTTPS administrative access. Due to the public release of the exploit and the rapid pace of attacks, unpatched FortiWeb systems are at significant risk of compromise. With this threat and all other threats involving firewalls, you need to be using a product that's currently supported by the manufacturer and have an active support contract so that you can install these updates. Otherwise, you're a sitting duck and your systems are vulnerable. There's a Cisco vulnerability in its ISE products that's rated 10 out of 10, meaning that it's the most critical. Cisco has disclosed a critical maximum severity flaw in its identity services engine, ISE, and ISE passive identity connector, or ISE PIC, allowing unauthenticated remote attackers to execute arbitrary code with root privileges by sending crafted API requests. This vulnerability affects versions 3.3 and 3.4, stems from insufficient validation of user-supplied input in a specific API. Cisco has released patches to fix the issue. While there are currently no reports of active exploitation, I can guarantee you it's going to happen if you don't patch. You need to get out there, apply these updates immediately due to the high risk of severity of this threat. There's a Windows Server 2025 Golden DMSA attack that is out there. It's a critical flaw in Windows Server 2025's delegated managed services accounts, or DMSAs, dubbed Golden DMSA, has been uncovered. The vulnerability allows attackers with access to a compromised key distribution services rootkit, typically requiring domain admin privileges, to generate passwords for any DMSA or GMSA account within the Active Directory forest. Because the passwords generated use predictable timestamp-based elements with limited entropy, attackers can brute force valid passwords quickly. This enables stealthy lateral movement and persistent access across systems, bypassing protections like Credential Guard and surviving system updates. Organizations are strongly advised to audit privileged access to KDS rootkeys, monitor for anonymous DMSA usage, and consider minimizing reliance on these account types. There's a new Chrome zero-day exploit in the wild, and boy, has there been a lot of these lately. If you're using Google Chrome, you need to make sure that you're installing the patches because they have not been doing a very good job of protecting you most recently. Google has patched a high-severity sandbox escaped zero-day vulnerability in Chrome, which was actively exploited in the wild by attackers. That means that it's a zero-day threat. It's currently being used by hackers right now. The flaw, with a CVSS score of 8.8, resides in the angle and GPU components and can be triggered via a specifically crafted HTML page to execute arbitrary code outside the browser's sandbox. Google has released updated versions across Windows, Mac, and Linux, and strongly encourages users and those on other Chromium-based browsers to update immediately. Considering the ongoing exploitation and the rarity of sandbox escape flaws, this update is urgent to prevent deeper system compromise via web-based attacks. There's a SonicWall SMA appliance targeting in malware attacks. Researchers have identified a new malware campaign by the UNC 6148 group targeting SonicWall Secure Mobile Access or SMA 100 series appliances. Even those fully patched, the attackers exploit known and possibly unknown vulnerabilities, stole admin credentials, gained shell access via SSL VPN. Despite no zero-day breach being confirmed, they then installed a user mode rootkit backdoor named Overstep, which modified the boot process, hides logs, and steals credentials, steals tokens, and OTP-Cs for persistent access. Some evidence hints at links to ransomware activity or extortion, including connections to the World Leaks, formerly Hunters International, data leak site. Google recommends organizations perform forensic disk imaging, scan for indications of compromise, and collaborate with SonicWall to secure or decommission affected devices. There's a big eSIM vulnerability putting IoT or Internet of Things devices at risk. eSIMs used in over 2 billion devices contain a critical vulnerability in the Embedded Universal Integrated Circuit Card, or EUICC software powering Hijacking chips. Known Java card flaws allow attackers with temporary physical access to extract cryptographic keys, install malicious applets, and remotely download or clone full eSIM profiles from major carriers like AT&T, Vodafone, and Orange. With these profiles, attackers can hijack phone identities, intercept calls, SMS, and even two-factor authentication codes without detection. While the attacks initially require physical access, researchers have shown it can then proceed over the air via SMS provisioning, making remote exploitation possible. Fortunately, Hijacking has issued over-the-air patches and collaborated with the GSMA to update eSIM specifications, mitigating the security by disabling vulnerable test profiles and strengthening Java card bytecode verification. Listen, if you're out there and you're saying, hey, you know what, I don't even know where to start, I don't know if this is even applicable to me, well, you need a faster PC. We can help you. We can run a security test. We can actually come in and test your systems and determine whether your systems are secure, whether they're safe, whether you have vulnerabilities. We can determine whether any of these apply to you and apply the appropriate patches, or even decommission some of these and go with more modern solutions that can provide enhanced protection. When you have cybersecurity problems, you need a faster PC. Give us a call at 772-878-5978. Again, 772-878-5978. Or visit our website at fasterpc.com. From our website, you'll actually be able to sign up for a free discovery call where I can actually sit down with you and talk about how a faster PC can provide advanced cybersecurity to protect your system, as well as providing penetration tests, third-party penetration tests to determine whether your systems are at risk or not. Give us a call again, 772-878-5978, or visit our website at fasterpc.com. And remember, when you have cybersecurity problems, you need a faster PC. If you have a computer technical, streaming, or cybersecurity question you would like to have us cover in a future video, leave that in the comment section below.